That's what your favorite rapper does.
They're renting.
Exactly.
They're renting.
And on top of that too, a lot of them are talking about popping pills. Let me tell you this. Pill popping was highly taboo in the so-called black and Hispanic community. Never heard of that.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody was popping no pills. I mean, you heard about niggas going out selling pills in certain neighborhoods, suburbia, right? But what do you think Afghanistan was all about?
CIA.
Yeah, the CIA. Hell yeah.
All of this shit to us.
Hell yeah.
To our neighborhoods.
Most definitely.
Fed us all this propaganda.
And you know what
That's
happened?
what they do right now.
Yeah.
Look at what's going on in Afghanistan.
Right.
I gotta ask you, brother, right? What do you think about what's going on? I was just on the phone with my boy E, right? We were talking about the same thing.
Yep.
What do you think's going on right now in Afghanistan?
I forgot the name of the operation. There was an operation in the 70s and 80s when they were arming the Afghanis with guns. Afghanistan has 90% of the world's poppy. What's made out of poppy? Heroin. The best heroin on the planet Earth. Now, look what's happening today. Now, in the 80s and the 90s, there was a certain epidemic called the crack epidemic. During those times, though, no one really cared because it was in the inner city, right? Now, freebasing is what they call it, but when you're turning crack, cocaine into crack, it's a certain form of chemistry. Ray John, whatever you want to call them, they didn't know how to do that. Obviously, a chemist had to come to Oakland, Los Angeles, New York City, Boston, Springfield, to teach you how to turn coke into crack. Now, what happened was, during 9/11, you got to understand, when every president is put in position, they're put in position to transition the world into something different, because America is the world's superpower, right? Now, during the time of George Bush, the dumbass, right? He was the president that was waging war. Because what happened in September 11, 2001? The towers collapsed by a plane, supposedly. Supposedly, some terrorists came on a plane with a butter knife. There's 150 people on a plane, 20 people on a plane. They was able to take the plane, fly it into a building, and it crumbled.
Not to mention, America has the most advanced military and air force. You mean to tell me they couldn't take those planes down?
Exactly.
America.
Yeah. Yeah, Israel got a big part to do with it, but not to mention that the way that the towers fell, it was by way of demolition. Okay? And then what happened? They passed the Patriot Act. Now, because during the time of Clinton, it was all about technology. Big tech, the internet came on the scene. And then when the Patriot Act came out, everybody's privacy was infringed on, so they had to go and wage a war on terrorism. Well, in the 70s and 80s, y'all was befriending the quote-unquote Taliban. And you was after Saddam Hussein because Saddam said, I don't want the petrodollar. The hell with the petrodollar. I'm going to go into euros. And you know what America did? They came and they went into Afghanistan as well, and they wanted to take over the world's poppy. Okay? Yeah. They wanted to take, brother. They wanted to take over the world's poppy. And I got guys that are in the military that told you straight up, there was Americans that was using that and they were selling it. That's all that was about.
It's a CIA op.
Yeah, CIA. See, that's why I don't trust any alphabet organizations. Because if I'm not mistaken, one of the guys that was the head of the CDC is right now a chairman in Pfizer.
Yeah.
I forgot the dude's name. I forgot his name.
Yes.
I gotta find it.
I know what you're talking about.
You see? So all of this stuff is done by design. We're gonna show you out of the Bible though.
Number one endorser right now.
Let me get Psalms 58 and 3.
Bill Gates.
Okay. Matter of fact, Psalms 83,
Hey, brother,
verse 1.
The number one endorser of vaccines
Yeah.
right now is Bill Gates.
Yeah, he's been talking about that.
He's a
Yeah.
software programmer. He don't got no medical background.
Yeah, he's been.
Why the fuck are we trusting somebody?
Yes, it's falling. Yeah. So that
Planned Parenthood,
yeah.
Planned Parenthood 2.0.
Yeah, it's all done by
of them
design.
believe in eugenics.
Yeah, now it's Agenda 2030 they're trying to push, which is Agenda 21. Yeah, they changed it to Agenda 2030. They pushed it back.
They changed the name.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. They want to kill the people. They want to take over the world. And this was found in the Bible, right? So let's go to Psalms 83. This whole master plan that we're talking about, the Most High had it mapped out right here. Read what you got. Psalms 83, verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make it tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
Read on. They have taken crafty counsel against thy
So
people.
it says that enemies make a tumult, they're making a great noise, and they're taking a crafty what? Counsel. What's a council? A group of people coming together and trying to make a decision. You know, your G9, G8 summits, the UN coming together, they're always talking about different policies, right? So they said they're taking a crafty counsel. So being crafty is confusing people, making them voluntarily submit to certain things. A lot of this stuff is done by trickery, right? So this is what the Most High said. He said that they shall take crafty counsel against our people. That
If I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, slavery was about trickery. All of that.
it was also prophesied too.
But I mean, look.
Read on, go ahead. Bring up your point. Hold on.
Okay.
One second.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden
Read
one.
on.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Let us cut them off from being a nation. They want to cut these people off from being a nation. Who the Most High is speaking of? Read.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
That the name of Israel may be no longer in remembrance, or no more in remembrance. Just like we're bringing out. This is why you have to search for these type of books, right? This is why they're trying to inoculate our people in so-called 2021 with this medical procedure. The jab, whatever you want to call it. This is why when you speak about these certain things, when you come out on mainstream media and you're saying, there's so many doctors that are coming out now and saying, all right, who? Okay, Fauci, let's go head to head on national TV and let's discuss this virus. None of them want the smoke. But what they're doing now is they got these sites like Snoops.com talk about it's satire. We got to do the fact checking. Fact check what? We already know, well, a lot of people don't know, but we know now that this thing is a farce and it's way bigger than a damn virus. They're trying to kill the people. It's out already. The cat is out the bag. So you can try to delete Facebook accounts, delete Instagram accounts. We know what's going on. We're going to keep on telling the people what's up. And that's the main thing right now. They want to take the name of Israel and they want it to be no more in remembrance. They want you to sit here and call yourself black. Black is a color, and when you look up the definition, it means evil, without void.
Black means evil?
Yeah, look that up real quick. You didn't know that?
Where?
In the definition of the word black. We're gonna show you right now. The Bible says prove all things, right? So when you're calling yourself black, it's actually a negative term, right?
Supposedly.
Right, supposedly, whatever. But that's a definition that they put on the term. But the thing is, too, I'm not the color of this shirt, right? These were terms that were put on us. Now, I know there's a sister that had that argument, well, black is beautiful, and you pick all the colors of the crayon box and it release the black. Yeah, that's fine and dandy, but he's a different shade of brown. 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 You're a different shade of brown. You're a lighter brown. We're not black. It was a color. It was a term that was put on us. And guess what? When you go into the Bible, right? When you read about the prophets, the Christians were called Niger. The word Niger is a Latin word that goes to black, right?
I learned that from my favorite
It just
artist,
means,
KRS-One.
that just means that what? That we're dark-skinned people. This is what we're telling our people today, but our people don't want to hear that. They be like, it doesn't matter, color doesn't matter.
You know what happened?
Okay?
It was trickery. Right?
Read what you got. You got that?
Well, hold on. Before Latin America was conquered,
You got a Samsung, man.
before Latin America was conquered,
Yep.
it was trickery.
Yep.
You know? Where do you think you get mestizos from, right? Those
Right.
mestizos, like myself,
Look that up real
right?
quick.
I get dark with the sun too, but
Yeah.
those mestizos who were half native and half Spanish are still discriminated against. They're called third-class citizens in their own country.
You know that's found in the Bible?
Huh?
You know that's found in the Bible?
Oh, it has to.
Deuteronomy 28, brother. Everything you saying is found in Scripture.
So we got
Yeah.
putting them in boxes.
You get Deuteronomy 20 and 37.
Listen, I remember OG,
Yep.
he used to say, oh, black man is God. People didn't know what the fuck he meant by that. People just thought, he looked like he's God.
That's in the Scriptures, by the way, but he's a 5%er.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of the Wu-Tang Clan, especially what's his name? The guy that started RZA. He had a lot of 5% of belief and also the Far East beliefs. Because he was taught by a guy that came from Japan or whatever. Read that. Black.
The definition of black. In Latin, the word for black, a term, and to darken a tear were associated with cruelty, brutality, and evil.
So you're calling yourself black? Like that lesbian movement, Black Lives Matter? We're gonna call a spade, funded by George Soros. Okay?
All co-opted black movements.
Exactly.
They're not organic black movements.
Yeah, it's
Black
fake.
Lives Matter.
So you're calling yourself evil when you're calling yourself black.
Brothers of 12 nations.
Okay? So this is the 12 tribes of Israel. We're just telling our people to wake the hell up in these last days. Okay? So that's that one point I wanted to tell you, man. Kibaro. You so-called Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Haitians, you are the Israelites according to the Bible. Now, watch this. This is Deuteronomy 28. This is known as the book of curses that will befall a certain people. Now read, we're gonna wait till the dembo goes by. Okay, read what you got.
Deuteronomy 28:37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword
Proverb and a byword, go ahead.
among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
So the Lord said you're going to be a proverb and a byword and astonishment. Now, these were terms that are given to you, or also known as, what's that word again? That word where all black people still, stereotypes. The water, stereotypes. So the Lord said that there'd be stereotypes put on you, or proverbs, or bywords. For instance, the word nigger, right? Being called black, being called a spick, being called a moon cricket, right? Big-lipped watermelon-eating nigger, right? So this was found in Deuteronomy 28th chapter. Read that when you get a chance. 28. Yeah. Watch this. I'm gonna leave you with one more thing. Deuteronomy 28 and 15, real quick, and then we're gonna go to 68th verse. When you read Deuteronomy 28 from verse 1 to 14, it says that if you follow these laws and commandments, you shall be blessed. Us as a people, as you know, we don't like to listen. We rejected the laws of God, so this is why we're undergoing third-class citizenship, getting shot in the street by the police, baby mama drama, Crips versus the Bloods, blacks versus the Puerto Ricans. You find this in the jail system. This was the curses that will befall us, and this is prophesied. Read.
Deuteronomy 28 and 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
The word hearken is a Quaker word, Quaker English, because back then they spoke Quaker English. Right? So the word hearken is a Quaker English word for listen. If you don't listen to the voice of the Lord, read.
To observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. First curse.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
It says, cursed shalt thou be in the city where we reside at. It was done systematically though, right? Because when you go to a nice part of the city, right? Whenever I find a Whole Foods, it's always in the best part of the city. Now, when you're in the hood, you got to go to bodegas, which usually they're selling you bull crap, all right? There's liquor stores everywhere. There's drugs everywhere, but this was done systematically, right? Because we know they bring the drugs in the community, right? The institutions, the prison institution. So all of that stuff.
It's all, look, this goes to capitalism, right?
Right.
People talk, I hear
Read that?
far-right people talking about socialism, right? I hear far-right people talking about socialism. All socialism will fail. And what it's done, and they give examples of like Venezuela and like Castro,
Right.
like all that shit. But I'm like, wait a minute, capitalism doesn't exist without socialism. And not only just that, capitalism is what enslaved us.
Right.
My great-great-grandfather was a slave in the Caribbean.
Oh yeah,
right?
in Puerto Rico?
Puerto Rico.
Okay.
So capitalism is what keeps people there. You know, the reason why there was slavery wasn't because of color.
It's all about money.
Yeah, it wasn't because of color, it was because of class systems.
Okay.
You know, it's so they lying to us, they're trying to be divisive.
Yeah.
So we don't unite. Because anytime we unite, we bring them hell. They know that. They know that they had to rape our women to create us.
Right.
You know about the camps, right?
Yeah.
The mixing camps,
Right.
That to create lighter
So
skin.
check this out. We're gonna give you a couple more curses, right? Curses be in the city. Let's go to verse 68.
And I gotta get out.
Yeah. Give you one more.
I'm gonna talk to you guys whenever I see you.
All right, my brother. Okay. Give you one more, and I know you got to be out, brother. I'm gonna give you one more script.
Yeah.
What that is?
What?
Tat. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's an indigenous tattoo.
Know what that is?
Okay, YHWH. He's the Lord of the land of the dead.
Deuteronomy 28:68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
The Lord shall bring you into Egypt again with ships. All right? The word Egypt is synonymous with captivity, slavery. This is what curse. The Bible says that the Lord shall bring you into captivity with ships. Go ahead.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
And no man shall buy you, which means no man shall save you. So the Lord says, I will put you in ships, in captivity, and you're not going to see it anymore again. Speaking of your homeland. And there, wherever you're brought to, you shall be sold for bondmen and bondwomen. To be sold on what? On auction blocks, right? Because one of the biggest commodities back then was actual human labor. When you read about how the railroad companies came up, right? But then when they, quote unquote, abolished slavery, they made it so that you can only make a man work if he committed a crime. So you'd have two Negroes hanging about a general store and they go, hey, you two niggas, get over here. Exactly. You know what I mean? And that's what we do. We chill. So you got, it's just like today. You got some niggas chilling on the corner, right? And they go, hey, you two come over here. You got to pay a fine. I can't pay that fine. Oh, yeah? Well, to work off this fine, we're going to have you work on these railroads or in the mines, the mining field, right? Deep down in the mines. And the conditions down there, when you read about it, you could barely breathe. You're working 15 to 16 hours a day. Constant death, just passing out. And this is what they was doing. And you know what? You got that going on today. The modern day slavery. Yeah, it's also a mental slavery too.
Our government has,
but you know what I'm saying? This is what we're bringing out. You know what I mean? So basically, to leave you with that, when you read this Bible, man, it'll be able to set you free, man. All right? Because obviously our government, they got all this wickedness going on, but the Most High is allowing it to happen. He's going to bring it down. All right? It's only a matter of time. Okay? We'll leave you with that.
When people talk about, like, when people talk about now slavery, right?
Yep.
About mental. I remember brothers getting mad at Kanye West for talking about slavery is your choice. You don't understand what he's saying though, right? And I don't really like Kanye West that much.
Yeah, Kanye.
You don't really understand what he's saying. He's talking in terms of him being exposed to Hollywood and all this satanic shit he saw going on that he didn't know about before. So suddenly he became a fucking revolutionary.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, you can't have a little piece of Satan's pie and then you just step away from that. You know what I'm saying? Happened to Tupac. He was dipping and diving and trying to speak out against. They had the Clippers behind anyway. So, you know, as you know,
this is what we live for, right?
Yeah, but
go everywhere and talk about this.
Give me Daniels in 4:17. People don't want to hear it though, man. You got a lot of people today, man. They don't want to hear the truth. That's why we out here. Anyone got a flyer? Yeah, these brothers have, they be on Instagram and stuff, but we got flyers where you can contact us, and we do classes Wednesday and Friday. Oh, that's just the sign of our body. Psalms 149 and 2 talks about the children of Zion. All right, that's who we are, children of Zion. All right, Zion meaning monument or pillar of the Most High. All right, read Daniel 4:17.
This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men.
Right, the Lord ruleth in the kingdom of men. Right, we're in the kingdom right now. This American kingdom, right, which is basically Rome all over again. Rome on steroids. Wagwan, brother. Go ahead.
In the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will.
Right, and he giveth it to whomsoever he will. Okay? Come on, in our skin, right? Right. It's in the blood. It's in the blood. That's right. So the Most High is the one that set these men up. and he giveth to it whoever he pleases to. All right, let's go to one more. Let's go to Jeremiah 20. You got more? Go ahead, read.
And setteth up over it the basis of men.
Set her up over it, the basis of men. Just like Joseph Biden, Sleepy Joe. He's set up. He's Sleepy Joe. He's a base man. Okay? I remember when he got selected, however many months ago, there was a lady up here doing a Gregory Hines tap dance. Yeah, we free. I said, miss, free from what? What are you free from? You don't remember them crime bills? Y'all don't remember that, huh? All of a sudden, Joe Biden loves black and Hispanic people? Give me a damn break, man. Give me a damn break. Yeah, Kamala Harris is the worst. Yeah, Kamala Harris is the worst.
These are people that
Kamala Harris. Yo, he's out here smacking your mic, bro. Yo, but all right. So, read that real quick. Jeremiah 28 and 8.
Go ahead over here. I got John here. Come on, here. Go ahead.
Jeremiah 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence.
All right, so the prophets of before prophesied against many countries. This Jake out here regulated, man. It's the spirit we got to be in. Okay? The hell with the damn Edomites, man. Don't be pleading. Esau always want to plead when he get plosh right in his face. Give me Revelations real quick. Revelations 2 and 25. Revelations 2 and 25, man. Revelation 2 and 25.
Revelation chapter 2, verse 25. But that which ye have already hold fast till I come.
Right.
And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end.
To the end. So if you keep the works of the Most High to the end, read on.
To him will I give power over the nations.
To him will I give power over the nations. Okay? So that's what this is what's coming to the planet Earth, man. The Most High is going to raise it up. And if it be his will, we'll be having power over the nations. And certain brothers are exercising their power already. Okay? But that's what's going to be happening. The Most High said they're going to be broken like a vessel on a potter's clay. Read on.
And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. As the vessels of the potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father.
And that's what the Most High says is going to happen. He's going to break them like a potter's clay, like a vessel. We're going to rule them with a rod of iron. And this is why, this is the hope and patience in the way of the saints. With that, I say shalom and let the next brother come up.
Proverbs 7.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. Spirit, Most High put a spirit on that brother.